Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 716 of FloWrestling Radio Live Special Edition. I'm joined today by Ben Funky Askren, the recovered and showered Ben Askren. He's got his hair down. We're going to watch it poof up as the show goes. We got David Bray. And most importantly, we've got the man of the hour. Number one, Jesse Mendez is here. The decision so many college fans and wrestling fans have been waiting for. Jesse's going to come on here and announce his college decision. But first, let's check in with the man. Jesse, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Heck yeah, man. So it's been a little time since we've seen you compete. You were competing basically once a week at a national, international level, it seemed there. How's it been being off the mat for a little bit?
It's been good. Taking some time to recover. Started getting wrestling live about 2 weeks ago, so training's going good. Just getting back to 100%.
Nice. Have you thought about what weight you might wrestle at this for your scholastic season?
Kind of wherever they need me. Either probably 138 or 145.
Nice. So you've been going through this recruiting process, taking 5, I guess, official visits. How has that been? Did you enjoy that process? Was it stressful? Kind of take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, stressful for sure. But it was good getting to meet all the coaches, getting to know everybody personally, getting to see the way each wrestler lives their lifestyle. And I want to thank each coach that recruited me throughout the process.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, you know what? I'll ask you more questions later. I don't want to wait anymore. I don't think anyone else wants to wait.
No,
I don't think Jesse wants to wait. So why don't we just get it out of the way? Jesse, take it away.
Excited to announce my commitment to the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Whoa!
Dude.
Oh.
Ohio State. Coach Tom Ryan, Jaggers, Bo Jordan. There it is.
Massive.
Gonna be a Buckeye. Jesse. All right, I didn't know. I had no idea where you were going. We all had guesses. We had theories. But Ohio State's the choice. What went into it for you? What was the difference maker? Because that list you couldn't go wrong with any of those schools, right? A lot of great schools, great coaches. What was it that separated Ohio State?
I mean, they're building something special. They're starting a dynasty, and I have faith in all the wrestlers and the coaches, and I know they're going to bring me to the level I want to be at.
When did you know? I mean, it's and I guess one thing I'm always curious about for the elite recruits, you start your recruiting process probably a year or 2 years ago, where you start thinking about where you might want to wrestle. How did we'll call them the standings, change or not change as you went through the recruiting process and thought more about it? Was it something where Ohio State was always towards the top? Was it something where, for a while it was one school, then another school, and it changed late? How was it for you?
Yeah, I mean, from a kid, I grew up watching Logan win his 4 NCAA titles, so it's going to be cool getting to wrestle under him. And, it came down to a close decision. But, I mean, Ohio State was at the top for the most part.
So when did you know for sure it was going to be Ohio State?
Probably about 3 nights ago.
Really?
I sat down with my family and, really hashed it out, tried to figure out what would be the best fit for me. And, it just came down to, RTC and that recruiting class. I mean, this might be the best recruiting class ever. So, I mean, I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, David, give a little bit of context about the class that Ohio State's bringing in.
Well, they have number 1, Jesse Mendez. They have number 2, Nick Feldman. They have number 3, Nick Bouzakis. And that's just the top 3. I mean, the top 3 recruits in the class 2022, I would say qualifies as maybe the best recruiting class in history. There's also Seth Shoemate coming in, Gavin Brown. So, I mean, it's, amazing. So
you're going to have with your class, you're going to have someone like Nick Bouzakis, someone you can potentially be trained beside throughout your college career. But who are some of the other guys you're excited to train alongside?
Man, Patty's got the same mentality as me. He wants to win in everything he does and be the most dominant. Andre Gonzalez, Karchla. I mean, everybody on that team's a killer, and I'm excited to get in the room.
Did you get to – I don't know how the process works exactly, but when you go on a visit, do you get to wrestle with any of the guys, or have you been able to wrestle with someone like Sammy Sasso, who's national champion contender around your weight?
There's a bunch of weird rules where you can't, so for the most part, no.
Got it. How tough was yesterday? Because you formed some relationships with the coaches and whatever, and then you don't end up going there. How was it making those phone calls to say, "Hey, coach, I'm actually not coming to your school"?
Man, those calls suck because you form such a good relationship with these coaches, and then have to tell them you're not going to their program. It sucks, but everybody was really cool about it. They wished me best of luck. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. What was maybe the most surprising aspect of the recruiting process for you?
How heavy partners would be. I thought in a program everybody's gonna have partners, but there's some places with better partners, and there's a lot of aspects that go into it. So there's so many aspects that I had to weigh on to make the decision. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Nick Bouzakis, that's a guy that people they've compared the two of you for a long time. People, wanted to see that match. You guys are both excellent, do a whole lot of winning. How much were you having conversations with Nick during the recruiting process or thinking about him as a potential partner for the next 4+ years?
Yeah, so me and Nick were actually on the same visit at Ohio State. So, we talked a little bit then, but not too much after. But, I always kept in the back of my mind that if Nick went to Ohio State, it's going to be hard to push that away.
How much have you gotten your hands on him at all in the room or in any training camps?
So we've trained at a couple of camps, and man, he's got a good feel, and I know he's going to help me get better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nick Feldman too, part of that class. You guys are the top 3 in the class of 2022. A guy that's got a magnetic personality. Seems like somebody that people are drawn to. Obviously, probably not going to be a training partner too often, but talk about Nick and his role in maybe helping you think about being part of what's going on there.
Man, it's just awesome. He's a hammer. There's nobody that works like him. I've never seen a big guy move like that. So I'm excited to be on the same team as him, train with him every day. It's going to be fun.
Man, well, this is it's great. Ben, I don't know if you have anything for Jesse, or you look kind of frozen right now. Actually, he may be. We lost Ben to illness last time. Are you back?
Yeah.
Not really. Ben's having some internet problems, maybe not health problems. Jesse, maybe give us a sense what's kind of next for you. I have a couple questions about the next maybe year and change. One. What are your goals through the scholastic season, and then world team wise, where are you trying to go? I know you have senior level aspirations coming at some point, and we're seeing more and more guys younger and younger able to have that impact. So just kind of how you see your career playing out over this next year or so.
Yeah, so I want to go through this season, win my 4th state title, big stepping stone in the goals I've set for myself. And I want to make that junior team. I want to make that U23 team. And then I want to take my shot at that senior team.
Awesome. And what weight do you kind of envision yourself long term?
I think I'll be a 41 in college those first couple of years. And awesome. I want to be a 65 kilo.
Nice. And for the next year, how much talk is there about, yeah, you'll redshirt, or yeah, you'll go right away, or we'll wait and see? Is there a preference you have? Is there a preference the staff has? How's that conversation been?
Just kind of whatever we think would be best for me and the team. I think I'm ready to come in as a freshman and, scrap, ready to get it done.
Awesome, man.
So, Jesse, I know that this summer you had some pretty big goals. You made that junior team. We're close to making the U23 team when you had that injury, and you really, really wanted to compete at the senior trials. Unfortunately, the last chance didn't allow you to do that. You didn't get the opportunity. It was kind of a weird year in terms of what qualified someone for the trials and what didn't. Where do you see yourself currently on the senior level? You would have been at 61 kilos. Where do you think you would have stacked up against the best guys in the U.S.?
Yeah, it's super unfortunate they wouldn't let me wrestle, but I think I could scrap with them. I think I would have done really well. I think I have the mentality that it doesn't matter who you put in front of me. I'm going to scrap and I'm going to wrestle to the last buzzer.
What did you learn from your Junior Worlds experience, Jesse?
parterre. Parterre's going to win you matches. I think there's this statistic that's like 90% of matches, if they can get a turn on top, they're going to win the match. So, I mean, having good parterre defense and being able to turn somebody is going to be huge.
Was it something where, okay, you go into Junior Worlds, you think, I'm pretty good parterre, I'm solid there, and then, like, was it sort of eye-opening, like, oh my gosh, I just got turned, I can't ever remember getting turned like this? Was that sort of like an aha kind of moment there? Or did you know going in, like, I may not be quite ready in this particular area?
Yeah, I thought going in I was ready, but, I mean, they give a different feel than Americans. They know the tricks. I mean, all they wrestle is freestyle, so they're going to have a couple tricks that we don't have, but I mean, next time I'm going in, I'm going to be ready.
Heck yeah. And it was you're a first year junior, right?
Yeah.
Dang. Awesome, man. Man, Jesse, I am so pumped for your decision. I'm excited for you. Obviously the energy around Ohio State has to be insane with number 1, 2, and 3 of the class coming in. Man, I can't remember the last time we've seen something like that in wrestling. I want to give you the last word. Anything else before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that's helped me get to this point. There's a lot of people that put faith in me, and just want to thank my coaches over at Region, my high school coaches, my family, of course. They've helped me get to where I'm at, and I'm just really grateful for the people in my life.
Awesome. Well, we love watching you wrestle. We're excited for you. Can't wait to see what you do in the future, and congrats on the decision, and enjoy today.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Of course, Jesse. Have a good day. See ya.
See you, Jesse.
Go on.
You too. There it is. Holy cow.
Over the summer, you heard talks about could Ohio State put together a mega class? Like, they've got, they had Feldman and Shoemate, a couple really solid upperweight guys locked in for a while. And then they were in the sweepstakes for Mendez and Bouzakis, and heard that, like, Mendez and Bouzakis had some goes in the room.
Yeah.
They really liked the feel. They really liked training together, and they could see each other, fueling their next few years. I'm almost speechless. I mean, the top 3 recruits in the class, like, that is basically unprecedented. And these are 2 guys. Like, I love Jesse Mendez as a prospect. Nick Bouzakis is a great prospect. The 2 of them together, side by side, like, not just the goes in the room, but the conversations they're going to have about goals, the ways that they're going to push each other in the, competing with each other. Who's going to be the first to win the NCAA title? Who's going to get the most? Who's going to do all that? Like, I like each guy better as a prospect because they're together. And,
the culture impact of someone like Jesse, Nick, and Nick, I mean, that's going to be huge because those are guys who are, I think they have real maturity, positive wrestlers. They love wrestling. To go along with Patty, to go along with Sammy and the other hammers they have in there, it's huge. And the last time I remember I can't even remember the class. I guess it was 2016. Penn State had 1 and 2 with Mark Hall and Nick Suriano, but I can't ever remember a top 3. So it's certainly unprecedented.
And the 3 guys, like, the biggest thing they can do to help bring more recruits to Ohio State is win a whole bunch of wrestling matches. But personality, those kinds of things are important. And they have a real balance of personalities on that team that you don't often see. Mendez he's ultimate competitor, super intense. Just, you talk to him, you get fired up. Then you got Feldman, who, like, never stops smiling.
He only smiles.
He only smiles. Like, people are
dislocated
drawn
finger.
To him.
Smile.
Yeah, people are so drawn to him as just a presence and just a really positive guy. And then you got Bouzakis as well. I mean, it's a group of 3 that is going to be program changing for what's happening at Ohio State.
And just what the doctor ordered for Ohio State. They're not a team that's going to contend for a title this year, and that's something that had been the norm for them. They've been in the mix for kind of year after year for a little while there, and now it's quite a resurgence for them to get back. It hadn't been long, but the years in between were, I'm sure, pretty difficult, and now you've got this infusion of real talent coming in. So is Tom Ryan done? See, he's got to be. Oh, you know what? My one mistake. One thing I wanted to ask Jesse was, like, the impact of NIL. That's a totally uncharted thing for a recruit to deal with, and I don't know how much. I mean, I don't think it can be really a part of the pitch at all, but it's obviously an impact. in your decision making. And yeah, I want to. Maybe we can follow up with Jesse about that another time because I'd be curious to know. Because listen, the conversations not with recruits but with coaches around recruits are like a coach told me yesterday or 2 days ago a kid chose us and there was an $85,000 quote NIL deal from like an RTC or something like that they chose their program over. And this is apparently sort of a norm within college wrestling recruiting now. And I don't know what all that means, but it's certainly uncharted territory for recruits and coaches and programs. And I'm curious to learn more about it for sure.
Yeah, I am too. That topic is one that has become really divisive, but it's a topic that a lot of people don't seem to know that much about. And so, it's surprising kind of that it is divisive. Like this is the thing that people have wanted for a long time is for athletes to be able to get paid for their name, image, and likeness. But now that it's part of a recruiting pitch, now that it's part of what maybe bringing a student athlete to a program, people are really resistant. So I think it's a topic we just don't know enough about. But man, a guy like Jesse Mendez is going to make NIL money and should make NIL money. And a lot of these big recruits are in the same boat. I'm curious to see how that plays out for sure.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, man. Chili Ben Askren in the outdoors. What's up, buddy?
Not that my son's crazy, so I came outside so I'd have some peace and quiet. I have no idea what's going on the internet. We're talking about NIL money because I was going to ask Jesse Mendez why he didn't hit me up on my offer.
What was your offer?
He didn't even call. I didn't get to make one.
Oh, what? You're offering
from Missouri.
What were you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Prominent booster Ben Askren. Booster Ben, they call you.
I actually have a real business where I could actually give people real NIL money, and it would actually make sense, and NCAA wouldn't be able to do shit about it.
It sounds like they're not going to be able to do much about much. Talking with other coaches, they're like they're basically not going to police bad deals, is the words I was told. Not that you would make a bad deal, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it would be hard to recoup money. Say if I paid him X amount a year to come up and do like 2 camps, it'd be hard to probably recoup that money. But hey, if we get Mizzou winning, we get Mizzou winning. That's how we're doing it, baby.
That's right. So what are your thoughts? He's going to Ohio State. You were out of the picture for a second there. Were you surprised?
You know what? No, I thought that would made a lot of sense for him, being that he's so close there and there's connections. I did not realize the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 thing. That's pretty freaking crazy. I know Penn State had that one class a few years back. They had 3 in the top 10 pound for pound. Is that what it was? They
had number 1 and 2, Mark Hall and Nick Suriano. I forget the order there. And Mason Vanville was actually like 6th that year.
Yeah, that year. And then wasn't there another year, the Verclearen year, didn't they have a whole bunch that were really high?
Yes, that was I don't think that was that year, maybe a year later. But yeah, they had a stack class. That was the one with Beard, Verclearen. Oh, who else was in that class? Very good class.
You guys should maybe do the best recruiting rankings, or best recruiting classes of all time. That'd be very fascinating. And obviously not from the perspective of how did they do, but from the perspective of when they were high school seniors, what did it appear that was going to happen?
The Arizona, I remember the first class the Arizona State one, Zeke's first class was insane because he had Zahid, Shields, Maruka. And I
doubled Zahid?
Zahid Anthony, sorry. I should have said Valencia. I said
yeah,
Zahid,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a really good class. And yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But I feel like this is a class that's gonna. I mean, I feel as confident in Jesse as any recruit. I think Feldman's gonna absolutely work, and Nick Bouzakis just wins basically every tournament he enters.
Like Ohio State last year wasn't a trophy team. It was one of those years, and they were hampered a little bit by injury, no Karchla, things like that. But they kind of fall down in how you think about what they're going to do, where their program is. But then when they get a class like this, all of a sudden, a lot of the other really important things around that program, the new facility, not only a training facility, but a competition facility, all that stuff, like it gets the spotlight on that stuff gets a little brighter. And it's like, oh yeah, they also have all of these other recruiting advantages. And now that they got these guys in place, it's like this class of 2023, that's right on the heels of 2022. It's like, man, what can they do there? Like who is going to be?
How do they have any money left?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
They might, yeah. Maybe, I mean, they're probably set for a little bit.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
but that's I mean, I feel like those guys, all three of them, and I don't know what Ohio State's lineup looks like, so I don't want to comment on it, but I feel like all three of those guys are guys who could come in and wrestle year one.
Yeah, absolutely. They could, and it'll be a real temptation for all of them to, hey, do we use all these guys right away, or do we, give them a year and send out everyone? Because Orndorff, I think this is his last year at heavy, and there's really no one behind him. At 41, it's kind of a, they've got a lot of guys, but they don't really have a Jesse Mendez there. 33, they could use Bouzakis today.
It's kind of crazy because at least two of the three guys there had, I don't want to say Mendez type hype, but they were, Edgemendi had a lot of hype, obviously. Decatur was a top couple guy. I don't know if he was definitely number one for at least a little bit. And D'Amelio ended up being pretty high too. So there was, they obviously didn't pan out. So, but they were kind of on that level going into the college program.
Well, we'll see, right? I mean, they're still
they're
still sort of young, right?
Lots of eligibility left, yeah.
So my gut tells me there's a good chance they use all three of those guys next year, and here's why. In an interview with Nick Bouzakis from Wyoming Sim, when I was over there in the fall, he said that when he was looking at his college process, one of the considerations was potentially getting to a campus in January. Setting foot on campus, starting to train in the college room. I don't know that he's going to do that, but it's something he's thinking about. We're going to see Nick Feldman in a college open this weekend. He's going to be the Clarion Open, so he's already starting to test the college waters. We've seen Jesse Mendez beat NCAA All-Americans at U23 trials. All those guys have already got their hands on or about to get their hands on college level guys in competition. So I think there's a really good chance that they do go. It's not guaranteed, but for sure they're exploring that option.
Yeah, I wonder if we see Mendez try his hand at Midlands. I know that was definitely discussed. I don't know if he will, but that'd be huge.
Yeah, one of the things I was thinking, Christian, and maybe you guys, it feels like those Olympic weights and it's something that they think about. Mendez and Bouzakis are likely both going to be 65 kg guys. Maybe Bouzakis goes Greco or something to that effect, but if they're really looking that far down the road, I feel like that could be an issue, or maybe they're thinking, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But, U20, 29er teams, 23-9er teams, the senior level teams, they're going to be competing for those spots.
Yes.
I think Bouzakis could be a 61 in non-Olympic years. I think that's potentially a really good weight for him. Mendez is, to me, has the perfect frame to grow into 65 and to be a long-term 65 kilo guy. He keeps his weight like pretty lean, but he also he made 61 kilos without too much trouble for Junior Worlds, but he's been competing up at 138. He's got a frame to build on. I like him as a 65.
So do you guys think that's like something they thought about, or what do you guys think they thought about that? 'Cause that was the question if there was a question I was going to ask him, that was going to be it.
What if he would wrestle? Which
no. Like, were they considering like that far down the road? Was he thinking, hey, this is someone I'm going to have to beat to make this spot on the team? Or is that just like, hey, that's a bridge I'll cross when I get there?
I don't know. I know they are definitely thinking senior level when they're making this decision, for sure. That's like an absolute consideration for a lot of these guys.
For sure.
Man. Well, I didn't know. Obviously, we had no idea where he was going. I had a final guess that was not where he ended up going.
You were wrong, Christian.
I was wrong. That's why I didn't know. I think his dad kind of threw me off the scent, maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally. I'll follow up. But he said something that made me think it was something else, but maybe I read too much into it. Who knows? But all along, I kind of thought Ohio State was in the mix and maybe even a leader for a good amount of that time. But things can change, and you look at the programs you're choosing against. It's like the pitch is so evident for all those schools, so you could understand. Well, I get why he would go to Iowa. I get why he would go to Penn State. I get why he would go to Michigan. Yep. I get why he would want to stay in Indiana, right? Mm-hmm. Every decision sort of made sense in a lot of different ways.
How is Penn State's 2022 class?
Let me take a look here. Penn State.
Levi Haynes probably, and who else?
That's it right now. He's the big one. Yeah. He's the big one right now, but it's a team that still has a lot of miles on the tires, the current team. So they don't need a whole lot of pieces right now. They're still in the running for TJ Stewart, who hasn't committed yet. That could happen, but right now it's Levi Haynes.
And TJ they think's an 84.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe someone once Brooks moves up to go in there.
Yeah, could be. There's
Brooks still has 3 more years eligibility.
Yeah, but I think he moves up eventually.
Yeah, you wonder if Starachi moves up eventually too.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Starachi is not small.
They're going to have options, but if they did, want somebody to fill the 84 spot, TJ Stewart could be the guy potentially. Who knows? We'll see. I have a feeling his decision's coming soon as well.
Okay. That'll be interesting. Well, man, exciting stuff. Really appreciative that Jesse would share that with us. And so TJ, the last big domino to fall for this class, right?
There's still a couple more. TJ Stewart's the next big one. Emilio Isagire after that.
Oh yeah.
He's a guy that I think still has a ton of upside.
Where was he? He was just at Cornell. I think.
Yep, he was at Cornell. He's been kind of all over. I know he must have really good grades because number of really good academic institutions are after him. But I think he's posted photos of I think a visit to Iowa State. He's been to a lot of different places.
Yeah, definitely Iowa State. I saw that as well. Is Arizona State in on him?
Yeah, Arizona State. I know they're. I mean, they might. I would assume that they're talking to him, but a lot of people are still talking to him. I think he's kind of keeping his options open, and he's going to be one of the first big Valiant Prep guys to go on and do big things. The older Larkin brother is already committed to Arizona State, so so they've got him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Isagire is definitely considering Arizona State. So
Ben, what's the progress for the high school you're going to open? Is it getting closer?
No, actually, one of the wrestling parents who's he was a high school wrestling coach. He's also an administrator. So as soon as I got back from talking with Eric Larkin, I said, "Hey, man, why don't we do some digging here?" So I have no less than in my club parents who also have some type of wrestling ties. I have no less than 6 teachers. So I think we can put this together. Yeah. I talked to Max about it on the phone a couple days ago. I think it's a great idea. Larkin's a genius. He killed it.
Hey, I had a conversation at Super 32 with someone who's done a lot of asking and exploring the Valiant Prep situation. Literally every student at that school is a wrestler. Mm-hmm. Every student at the school.
Sounds like a dream.
My man Andre Morgan hit me up the other day because we talked about Andre Morgan because I was like, wait. Andre Morgan's from Chicago. How the hell is he teaching in Arizona? And I guess he said he retired. He retired and he moved down there just for retirement. And they hit him up, and sure enough, they lured him back in to teach. And he said, "There's 80 kids. The goal is to get to, I think, 125 maybe is the cap on it or something like that. And then they all wrestle. It's not all male. I think he said 15 to 20% female is what I think he said. Yeah, man, it's a genius idea. I'm really Max and we are seriously talking about it. I would be surprised if we didn't execute on something in, I don't know, say 2 to 3 years, because it's not going to be an overnight thing.
Dang.
From what I hear too,
I was kidding.
from what I hear too, it's not.
I'm not kidding.
I know.
It's not a like fake school in the sense that like their kids like perform academically. Their test scores are good. Yeah. They really do emphasize academics at a high level, but they also structure the school day so that like the school day, they condense it. It's over by like 1:30 in the afternoon, and they have a practice at like from like 1:30 to 3, and then a lot of the kids are getting in a club workout at Thoroughbred or somewhere else. And then like those Eloy boys, they have a training facility that's pretty rough, but thrown together kind of a thing. But they're getting practices in at night. So it's a cool situation. They do it, the schedule I think is structured a little more like a college schedule where it's like get what you need out of class and then do a lot of your other work on your own.
Well, they said that what I heard was or what they told me was 7:30 to 3 p.m. and within that time window you have a lifting class which gives you a school credit and a wrestling class which gives you a school credit. So that's pretty tremendous that they figured that out. And I don't. How do I say this? Like the school system as it currently stands, public schools are relatively inefficient in my opinion. So the notion that you could make it more efficient and make it really well run is, I love it. It's great.
I mean, our school system is built on, I mean, I don't want to get on a tangent too much, but I guess I will. But like
Department of Education.
No, it's built on a like Victorian England like model of like, the
Get 'em, Bray.
It's built on the Industrial Revolution where you had you needed workers.
He ain't wrong, Christian. Stop.
This is what you needed.
Man.
This is what you needed. You needed workers who could read, write, and do math. And by read, I mean like actually were like just literate, like had the ability to read, and then write. I don't mean like write creatively or write convincing arguments. It was like write legible penmanship and then basic math, because you had all these jobs coming in where people just needed to be like plug and play workers and become like a cog in a machine. And it was not like it was not taking advantage of people. It was good at the time because otherwise before that it was like you didn't have jobs, so it was good at the time. Now we've grown way past that. Those things that you're that are like the skills that you were picking up pre 1900 are not as valuable as they are anymore. So
and there's a whole bunch of things that our youth should be learning that they're probably not in school.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. All right,
like wrestling.
They learn too much about the Industrial Revolution, frankly.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
That was Education Hour.
That was a Department of Education. You're looking at two Iowa boosters, David and I, and also former educators.
That's right.
Who gave
you guys want a job at Valiant Prep?
Yeah.
Sure.
I want
Caleb, he's a fourth grader. We could have it up and running by the time he's in high school.
Perfect. He's there. I mean, obviously, I'm running the room. But that goes without saying. Okay.
That's so funny. I still can't get over the science teacher choosing neutral.
It's great.
That is the best thing ever.
Oh my gosh. All right. Next up. Hey, quick thing. The top 100, the series premiere Thursday, which is Mark Bader's birthday. He claims he turns 38.
Mark Bader.
I don't think that's true, but
I think Mark's 42, 41 or 42.
It's one of those, I think. It's one of those. I should probably know, but I don't really care. But yeah, not 38. Happy Bader Day. But yeah, 100 through 91 will be debuted this coming Thursday. So we are excited about that. Right. And we'll see. Will Ben be on there? Will Ben be in the top 100? We will see. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
There's only one way to find out.
Man, that should be a fun list. But the problem about this list is, especially on the top portion, it's evolving so fast. This team, I mean, we just talked about before pre-Olympics 2020 or 2021, and then after Worlds 2021, you probably got some changes.
That absolutely happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something after. I mean, we could probably talk about it. Well, maybe. I don't know. The one guy that made from the Olympics to now, who went from probably off the list to We can just say
who knows how high? Yeah.
Who knows how high?
Gilman.
Yeah.
Gilman was not on the list. He was not a top 100 prior. And then in like 4 months, squarely.
What we were talking, one of the guys that works in the jiu-jitsu site, he likes wrestling, wrestling fan, and he was looking at Gilman after Worlds. He's like, wait, so he has almost the same exact credentials as Terry Brands? They were like, wait, no, that can't be right. Actually, yeah, pretty close. International wise.
International. Terry had 3 NCAA titles, correct?
Two.
So yeah, not the same, but like international wise, it's like Gilman goes from a one-time medalist to now he's a world champ. He's an Olympic bronze medalist and a world silver medalist. It's like, dude, that's completely different guy.
Yeah. So there were a ton of changes.
I'm not trying to bring Terry Brands down, but the other thing, Terry and Tom, they stopped competing in '96, and then Terry did compete again in the year 2000, which he won an Olympic bronze. But obviously, if Terry and Tom would have continued, and this is different than eras, right? Mm-hmm. Because for a while because of the lack of money, there was very few people continue to wrestle for a while, and now Gilman is going to go for 8-year international career, 9 years, and a lot of these guys are longer. Burroughs is going to have probably at minimum a 13-year international career. Like the amount of guys that did that between '96 and we'll say 2012 is probably zero. There's probably nobody who had that long of a career. So the lengthening of careers obviously would increase the medal count and stuff. So man, the difference between eras is a really nuanced discussion. It's kind of fun to have actually.
And really think about so many of our guys are going to have, especially our elite guys, are going to have 10 years under their belt senior level. Like Dake.
That's what I'm saying.
Dake for sure. David Taylor for sure. Kyle Snyder is going to wrestle till he can't. Jaden Cox, we hope. I'm sure he's through 24, no doubt, and then probably beyond that. So we're talking 8 to 10 years is a minimum for a lot of our elite guys. Gilman's been at it, since really 17's that's when he broke on. But also he wasn't entering like senior trials before then.
Yeah, and if you think about my era, like Daniel Cormier had a 6-year international career, and that was like he was the grandpa on the team.
Yeah.
Like that was a freaking really long time. Like that, it just wasn't happening. And I know it was because of the lack of money, where people would move on to coaching or move on to MMA at some point. And now they're lengthening these careers. So I think it's great. It's really obviously super beneficial for American wrestling. But it does lead you to the discussion of, well, who was really better? Because if Terry and Tom Brands would have stuck around till 2004, how many more world medals would they have won?
That's a really interesting point. You hear the conversation about eras, and it's usually like, well, there are more Soviet wrestlers now, so it's tougher. There are more, but it's a great point that there's also the advantage that these guys can make money wrestling, and so when a coaching job comes up, they don't have to grab it at 25 or 26 or 27 like they did then. It's like, if John Smith doesn't take the head coaching job when he does, when's the next time it comes along at Oklahoma State?
Yeah, real. Because his international career was only 6 years also, right? He won all 6.
A very efficient 6 years, I might add.
Yeah.
Only 6 years, but I will win everything. Yeah, it's fun talking about the.
What'd be listen. This is me trying to put. You guys have a statistics department, right? Because it's trying to meet. I love statistics, so this is me trying to put your statistics department to work. It would be really funny to see, like, just by era, what the average length of an international career is.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'll get the department right on that. Who's the department head of the statistics department, David?
I think it's Sion.
Yeah, Sion's head of stats.
Because the way you could do it would be just a really simple metric would be who is the team member, how many years did they compete internationally post-collegiate, and then do the average of that. I mean, that's a really simple way to do it. Probably not the best, but it would get the job done, and it would probably draw the graph that we wanted it to draw.
Like how long was Gable's? 3 years?
One and a half.
1.5 years. Yeah. He won Worlds?
70 or 71. He was done by 72. But then, Kale graduated in 2002 and was done by 2004.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, mostly.
Well, you would add 1 year that he came back, so his would be 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's huge.
What's Gable Stevenson's negative 1 year? He's like hasn't graduated from college yet.
Yeah, that's a good point too. It's these guys that are making teams.
Kyle Snyder
in college. Kyle Snyder. Because
freshman
year.
That metric,
true freshman year.
Yeah, by that metric, Kyle Snyder's only in his like third year, or is that right?
No, grade 17 he graduated, so he's in fourth year.
Yeah, but he's already got
six
medals.
Six medals.
Seven, right?
Yeah, 7 medals.
Oh yeah.
Whoops, sorry, forgot about a medal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kyle.
One medal.
Well, you win one every year.
One medal
dang
was
it.
hiding behind the other 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
No, I mean, so yeah, this is fun. I think towards maybe on the lower side, it probably won't be changing. So here's the reason why I won't be changing much on the lower side of this top 100 is because the guys who are on the team right now are likely going to stay on the team. So they're probably just going to jockey positions because you got to imagine of the team right now, at least 5 of them are on the list, but I wouldn't be shocked if the number's higher. And those 5 are likely to stay on the team for at least a little bit.
Yeah, so their stature will change. You know, if David, Kyle add another Olympic title or add an Olympic title in Kyle Day's case, I mean that's obviously going to bolster their status all the more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and Burroughs, his we're not saying where he is or isn't, or if he can get better or worse or whatever, but
he's obviously number 1 or 2, Christian.
Is it obvious? I will.
Yes, it's obvious. It's obvious.
I'll confirm he's on the list.
If you guys have Jordan Burroughs anywhere besides number 1 or number 2, your list is stupid.
We'll see. I don't know. You might see him in episode 1, Ben.
Maybe he's 93.
He might be 93. I'm not tipping my hand.
So.
You're not gonna get it out of me. Ben, is it cold there? How cold? Are you just hard?
It's not bad. I got some sun coming in from this side on the porch, but we had a lot of frost on the ground this morning. If you want, I might have to swipe off, but I can give you an exact temperature reading if you want me to.
Perfect.
Okay.
In Askren. There we go. We can't see you anymore.
So I guess the exact temperature right now is only 25 degrees.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like 25 though. It feels way nicer than that.
It looks sunny. I don't think you're supposed to go outside in the cold with wet hair. At least that's according to all moms in the world.
It's a mom thing.
Is that a fake thing?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm a savage. It's all right.
Well, you literally left the show yesterday vomiting, so I don't know. Your health is of concern to me.
No, I'm great. I'm doing great.
I
wonder if my internet's working again. I wish I needed like a tech producer to go check my internet so I can maybe go back downstairs.
Since you're outside, how's your groundhog situation going? Have you had to eliminate any more?
We eliminated I think 5 this year. I think there's still a few that exist.
Yeah.
The disc golf course come along. I planted some grass. There was large chunks of stuff where I cut stuff down, and my buddy worked on it, and we planted a bunch of grass. Hopefully that'll grow next spring. I had this you'll hear my really stupid idea.
Love them.
Well, I want to make a waterfall. Like the miniature golf course with the waterfalls?
Yeah.
I got this one hole that goes straight up the hill, and it's got buckthorn. And I need the buckthorn because I need boundaries on the hole, essentially, right, to make it harder.
Right.
But buckthorn sucks. I want to cut down. I want to make some waterfalls going down there.
What
do you think about that?
That's a great idea. You should get a windmill. If we're gonna get
That's
incorporate.
actually not a bad idea. Windmill would be kind of fun.
And then maybe you could power your house with it.
And a clown's mouth.
The clown's mouth. No one's made a disc golf course that incorporated the fun of miniature golf. Disc golf would explode if there was, there's not enough pirate themed ones for one. I mean, I haven't seen a pirate themed disc golf course yet. All right.
That would be funny.
We're more off the rails than usual.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
So I'm out here in 25 degrees. I'm sacrificing for you guys, the wrestling fans.
Well, we appreciate it. We are certainly appreciative of that. Now, let's talk a little. David, give us a little bit of a U23s update. How are we doing? I think we got 2 in the semis, according to you.
Yes. So Emily Shilson is in the semis, as is Kylie Welker. We have, I think, a pretty good chance that we'll get some other wrestlers pulled back in. Olivia Fisk lost to Kumbala Rock, who's I don't know how she's still at U23s.
Yeah.
But she's got to win over Tamira, so I think there's a good chance
David,
she
I
wins
don't
the
know.
semis.
They lie about the international people lie about their age. I don't know if anyone told you.
The French.
The French?
especially.
I thought we
All
could
of
trust.
them.
Can we not trust the French? Not all. Hey, not in the USA, baby.
So that's a really good situation for Team USA, and these two women in particular, Shilson and Welker, they're part of that group that was on multiple world teams this year. Both were junior world champs and now trying to repeat at the U23 level. Kylie Welker was on a senior world team this year as well. So that's good sign for USA, and both were really dominant in their quarterfinals. So hopefully get it done in the semis, which are going to be starting a little bit later on.
The amount of experience those two have been able to have this. I mean, Shilson's been on every team since Nam, and now Kylie, she's made three age level team, 3 teams, 2, and one of them being senior. We're gonna see the dividends of that down the road for sure. So good luck to them in their semis. Hope they bring home 2 titles for Team USA.
Yeah. On the Greco side of things, Taylor Lamont was 5th. He was, he lost in the bronze medal match, so still some work to do in Greco. But the women are steering the ship in the right direction, which is a good thing.
Heck yeah, they are. Okay, want to get to some questions. Tomorrow we'll talk more D1 preview stuff. Today was pretty Mendez focused.
Hey, Christian, we've been getting badgered on Twitter. Well, I know we want to talk about the 64-man bracket, but we also get badgered about picking our 10 NCAA champions. So
I was waiting till March
we
for
do
that.
Or what do you think? Tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about the 64-man bracket, though.
It's dumb.
It is a terrible idea. So someone asked because wrestling's improving, I guess, at the college level, why not make it 16 or 64? And I don't. Well, Ben, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, it's the simplicity of it is that there's really only 80 Division I teams, so we're talking about qualifying 80% of the athletes. That's absurd. I mean, and then I guess the second part of that being absurd is, with you, obviously you only add one more round, but in essence you add 2 times the matches with one more round because you guys can do the math yourselves. It's not quite twice as many, but it's really close. So I think it's unnecessary. We have qualification tournaments. At this point, it's about as fair as it gets, and I just don't think there's any reason to add more. I would actually eliminate 33. I think the 33 annoys the shit out of me. I would go 32.
You know what I would do?
What?
I'd reduce it even more. Too many.
How far?
I think there's too many. You know what? You know what's going to get people a little more bought in on regular season and not sitting out and being a little selective with their schedule?
That's a good point.
You pare that sucker down to 16, it's a different thing. Now, that really changes the All-American thing because basically the top half. But I think if it were smaller, I think it would have a lot of positive benefits. It would have
I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
It would have some negative benefits as well, but I mean, it depends on what you want. Do you want a 3-day season or do you want a year-long season where it all really matters? You look at the importance of the college football playoff, right? And like every game matters. Yeah. And we don't have that in wrestling at this point because kind of anyone that's pretty decent pretty much gets in. There's some really good kids that get left out. I'm not trying to say that some of the 34th, 35th best guys, and I know the first thing people are going to say, what about this unseeded guy that made this run and did this thing? And
yeah,
I was like,
Wyatt Sheath, number 33 All-American.
He would, yeah.
He was 34.
34, yeah. He
34,
was,
yeah.
Exactly. That happens.
16 seems kind of small, Christian, but
I agree.
Maybe obviously if you did a 24, you'd have first round buys for all the – so I actually really like I would love, and I know it's kind of unrealistic, but I'm just telling you what I would love. I would love some type of qualifier system where you do the regionals, so they're more systematized, right? Because right now with a couple of the conferences, you have the winners going for sure, and lots of times the winners in some of those conferences aren't in the top 33, right? So you're getting people in who maybe shouldn't be in, which then eliminates someone who should be in, right? So if you went to more of a qualifier system where it's 8 regionals or whatever, and then you take the top 3, something to that effect.
If this field got expanded to 64, it would make conference weekend almost irrelevant. And I like that.
Irrelevant. Yes.
I like that conference weekend is must watch wrestling. I like that you've got to figure out for a smaller conference who's going to win. Like those finals really matter in the SoCon or in small conferences. And then in the bigger the Big 10, Big 12, it's like you have really, really important wrestling to happen, not just because the action's going to be good, because there's something really at stake. I like that. The thing, like reducing it to 16 is interesting to think about. We have a version of that in wrestling. It's the Olympics. The thing that makes the Olympics so cool is that you have a very pared down field, but it's only once every 4 years. So we know how good the field is because we have guys winning world titles and world medals at 10 weight classes and fields that are as big as, as many people as want to show up. But then once every 4 years, we get it really pared down. And if there was a way to accomplish something like that in the NCAA, not to every 4 years is smaller, but like to know how good these guys are. And then, okay, now they're in this super bracket of 16. That would be super cool. But if you don't ever know that the 18th through 30th best guys or, whatever, 17th through whatever are good, then it can be, I don't know. I don't know if we would be able to recognize just how good that is.
Yeah. I mean, to Christian's point, I really liked his point where, a lot of people will say the regular season stuff doesn't matter because, to your point, Christian, also another point is that everyone who's pretty good qualifies for the most extent, right? There's a way to get in there if you're relatively good. And so, yes, if you went to 16, it would make the regular season matter a whole lot more because you're going to have a pretty good regular season in order to get in at the end.
Yes. So
which I like.
I know there's definitely some negative potential consequences of that, no doubt. But
of course, injuries, illness, that type of stuff, and then that's going to really affect it. But yeah, I think it likely would have probably more positive than negative consequences.
Yes, I agree. In NCAA basketball, they have 353 teams, and they have a 68 team field, which is pretty enormous, but that's only
20%.
That's at 20%, whereas we have like 40% in ours.
Yes.
33 out of around 80 or so. So it's pretty big. And then you think of the college football playoff is 4 out of however many hundreds of teams there are.
There's only 120 in that division. There's another Division 1 though, right? There's Division 1 with like
FCS, like
whatever you call it.
James Madison and William and Mary. And other fine institutions in Virginia. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Next up with the questions. We don't know about Drew Hildebrandt. But if you
I sent him a message. He did not respond.
Yeah, he's off the gram. He's
I can check again. Let me check one more time.
Check right now.
Make sure
we got a real-time update. We know every time Ben leaves his app what's going on.
The Ben Askren screen pops up. You know something.
There it is. That's how you know it. Nothing. That's okay. Well, the real Avery Lynch really wants to know where we would have got an NIL deal if we had the opportunity, which I don't even know how to answer that, but I think I know how Ben's going to answer if you had the opportunity.
What am I going to answer? What are you saying, a hair deal or I tried to get Pantene Pro V to sponsor me, but they're dicks. They wouldn't sponsor me. So I probably went with like disc golf or Bitcoin didn't exist then, so I couldn't go with Bitcoin. So we'll go with disc golf.
Does Bitcoin sponsor people?
Well, I mean, Bitcoin is not a company or anything, so no. But like someone within the ecosystem, an exchange or something to that effect.
Maybe Dogecoin hops on board.
They're Bitcoin billboards in Austin.
Huh?
You see those Bitcoin billboards around Austin?
Yeah.
You drive by one billboard, Bitcoin. Next one, the lawyer who rocks.
Yeah. Or we'll bring the picture of the lawyer who rocks. He's got dreads. I'd really want him to represent me in the court of law. Okay, question for Ben. When is the Lex Friedman episode with Ben dropping?
He told me like 3 weeks, but now it's definitely been more than 3 weeks. So I don't know. He's busy. I don't want to bug him. He's trying to make robots to change the world. I'm not going to harass him about when my podcast episode's going to drop.
He makes robots?
Yeah, that's what he does. He's
I know he does AI, but
yeah, he's trying to make robots that are your personal assistants at your house.
No, I don't want that. No, thank you. You want robots?
You don't have to buy it. It's not going to be government mandated that you get it to give his company an unfair advantage.
What if the robots mandate it, and they become the government?
At that point, we're screwed. Hopefully, we've gone to Mars already via Elon Musk's spacecrafts.
Listen, why would we want to go to Mars? You can't do anything on Mars. You think there's disc golf on Mars? You can't do anything fun there.
You never know.
No, there's not. There's
Have
science.
you been there?
Have you ever been to Yeah, I could play that game with you, Ben. There's a lot of places you haven't go, but you know those things exist. Have you ever been to Marianas Trench? Does it? How do you know it exists?
There's not disc golf there. I checked it out. I tried.
There's more likely to be disc golf in Marianas Trench than on Mars.
Or is there?
Or is there? I don't know. Listen. Count me out for Mars. If there's a sign-up list, don't wait for me. The piles are staying on Earth.
That's the last trip you make. How long does it take to get there?
I don't know. I mean, it's a direct flight, but even still.
Yeah.
So, Christian, if AI takes over, where the heck you hiding at?
Why do I have to listen? Why would Yeah, I'm not. That's it. It's over for me. I'm not gonna be able to hide. You're not gonna be able to hide from the robots.
Got it.
I'm going to the Shenandoah Valley. That's where I'm going.
There's no robots there.
I know those. Yeah, you're right. There's no hollers. There's some hollers there I can maybe hide in. Okay. Let's see. Other questions here before we bid you all adieu. I think that's it.
That's it?
One more perusal.
I'm excited because you know what I'm really excited for? We actually have college opens this weekend,
Yes.
so there's going to be a lot of wrestling going on.
Yes.
So I think we need to do two things. Tomorrow we're going to pick our NCAA champions, and tomorrow we're also going to do Tuesday headlines.
Yeah.
We need to bring that back.
Tuesday headline. We got to bring it back. It was great. So one of the questions was about NCAA champion predictions. Those are coming tomorrow, and I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it because I got to do it. Next up, apparently Kyle Snyder's going to wrestle in Dagestan.
I heard about this.
And maybe I think a couple Nittany Lion guys. I'm not sure. I have the sources from Russia, not America, so I don't know the full detail.
I guess
there.
it's not on the UWW schedule is what I heard, so I don't even know what the heck tournament it is.
You mean he's going to a tournament or he's going to the Dagestan RTC? He's going to be
No, he's going to a tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to train there. Or I mean, maybe he goes there, trains for a little bit, but I think there's a competition, better known as Umakanovsky.
Oh,
So,
of course.
as we all know.
Obviously.
Obviously. All right. Man, great show. So awesome to have Jesse Mendez on. Big deal. Going to make for an exciting collegiate future there for Ohio State. And, yeah, a little shift in the balance of power maybe. Cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks to Ben for making it work. Massive, quick recovery in the great outdoors in the Wisconsin wilderness.
Wisconsin wilderness, oh baby.
He's the man.
All right, guys, have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah.
There goes Ben. Thank you to you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, which is Thursday. We got a big D1 heavy show. Make sure you check it out. Thanks so much. Happy Wednesday. Thank you again to Jesse. Congrats, Ohio State and Jesse. Goodbye.